Well, there are many reasons that someone can become homeless, but one of the more serious comes from untreated mental illness.
This place, right here called Autumn West Safe Haven offers a place of hope for those who are recovering. And joining us now to tell us more is the Director of Community Advocates Behavioral Health Programs, Walter Locks, along with Mary Neubauer. She's a certified peer specialist there. Welcome to the Morning Blend. Nice to have both of you here.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Morning. Let's talk a little bit about your place. What is a safe haven?
Well, a safe haven is a federal definition of an alternative shelter for individuals who, because of their mental illness, aren't engaged in formal treatment and they're really struggling in a shelter, if they're going to a shelter at all. So the idea behind it is a very soft entry point. We have outreach staff that will go and just engage with people on the streets, under a bridge, meal sites, and shelters, and really just offer them a place to live, no strings attached. To just come on in, get out of the cold, here's a place for you, and we'll continue to engage with them once they move into our facility.
Well, and once they move in, what kind of services do you offer at Autumn West, which is also the name of the safe haven?
Sure. So one of the first things that we do is continue that engagement process. It might take months before somebody's ready to come in, has built up enough trust. As you might imagine, a stranger coming and just saying, come on over here, can be kind of frightening. So individuals with mental illness would experience the same thing. Once they get in, we continue to make them feel comfortable, build up that trust. One of the first things that we do is work with them to help them get benefits, because almost everyone is eligible for disability. And once we can do that, then they would have a sustainable monthly income where they could actually go and get their own place. It's just that nobody's been able to engage them long enough to take the time to help them do that.
What about treatment and medication?
Actually, treatment, what we have available is each individual has a case manager, and meet with the case manager. It can be multiple times per week. There is not a requirement for an individual to be on medication to live there. It's a choice of the individual, and everybody's at a different place in their recovery, and somebody may not believe medication is necessary at this point in time, but through their own growth and opportunity to see what goes around them, the potential can exist down the line.
Well, and Autumn West was one of the first community mental health programs to institute peer specialists here in Milwaukee. What exactly is that? Because that's exactly what you do, Mary.
Sure. As a certified peer specialist, I'm an individual that has experienced my own mental illness and my own homelessness. So I was asked in 2006 to come in and create a program. So I was really fortunate to have the support of the agency and created the program, designed and developed it, and implemented it. I started out working 4 or 5 hours a week at a previous building, and I would simply sit in a small conference room and put up some flyers and say, I'm Mary Neubauer, I'm a peer specialist, I'll be here at this point in time, and would have bananas and soda. And bananas have been a mainstay because of the original location, didn't have nutritional food. So I have a colleague, he works 20 hours a week, I work 15. Again, his own life experience is what brought him to his work. And we do a variety of different kind of groups, social activities, recovery-based opportunities. And one of the programs that I do is whole health action management. And fortunately, Community Advocates has made a big investment in me to get that training earlier in the early part of last year. And right now I'm the only WAM trainer in the state of Wisconsin.
Wow.
At the time you were homeless, were you aware of the fact that you had a mental illness?
Yes, my mental illness started, back in the latter part of the 80s. So I was definitely aware that I had a mental illness. But, it's my own recovery. Recovery is a process and not an event. For me, it's a spiral staircase, maybe making a couple steps up and then a step back. So I have to really work at my own personal recovery and staying well, because if I'm not well and I'm not working my recovery program, then I can't be the best person to provide the services to the individuals that I work with.
And why do you feel that the peer specialist is such a great way to relate? Because is it because you've had so many of the same experiences that they're going through, and the language can really, you know, benefit the conversation that you're having?
Definitely, you know, it would be like, you know, in the profession of police officers, you know, they have a peer-to-peer relationship. They know what type of work they do. They know scenarios. They know when somebody could be in trouble emotionally and needing to have somebody to bounce things off of. So for me, the basis of the premise is that, you know, I meet somebody that's coming into the shelter, spend some time getting to know them, looking at the information the homeless outreach nursing program has gotten on individuals, and really starting at the basic core of, you know, I'm married, this is my experience, we're peers, I'm not here, there's no hierarchy.
Yeah.
And it's really about connecting where people are at right now.
I just think it's wonderful because there are, you know, so many shelters. There are shelters that provide a meal, shelters that provide a place, a safe place for people to sleep, sometimes job opportunities or clothing. But if so many people are homeless because they have a mental illness or an untreated mental illness, the fact that you go that one step beyond to kind of treat the core problem of homelessness, I think is fantastic. So how can the community help you?
Well, there's several ways that they can help. We just received a very generous donation from Jewish Community Foundation, which we're really grateful for. Even though the program itself is funded by the federal government and Milwaukee County, it doesn't pay for things like psychological testing, for transportation. We'll get donations, for instance, for like Brewers games, but then we won't have transportation or be able to buy hot dogs or sodas or something for when they're at the game.
There.
Right. So any sort of monetary donation would be greatly appreciated because it allows the flexibility to really meet whatever the needs are. It might be eyeglasses, it could be anything. The other thing is volunteering time could also be a help. We just had a medical student from UW-Madison Medical School. It's part of their Triumph program in urban medicine, and it was really helpful. So we got that student was able to engage all of our residents on the benefits of smoking cessation.
That's wonderful.
Right, and now we have another student from Triumph who's continuing forward as well with that, as well as a student intern from UW Social School.
So there are lots of opportunities for people to volunteer and help, especially if they have a specialty or some kind of experience that helps you. For more information about all the volunteering opportunities, you can go to communityadvocates.net, search Autumn West Safe Haven, and click on Make a Donation. The phone number to call, 414-270-2984. A pleasure to meet both of you.
Thanks so much.
Thank you
so much.